As you heard, I'm an expert in computer vision. And vision is an amazing field, and it's wonderful to be in an age where vision can actually do so many things. And it's even better to be in a position where you can actually lead this trend. And I'll show you what I mean. So we decided that we are going to revolutionize the field of wearables. Right? Wearables are devices that we take with us that can help us better ourselves. Right? A good wearable that people have been using is shoes, right? It's useful, right? And nowadays, with technology and electronics, we can do magical things that we never thought are possible before. And I'll show you something. So to get a feel of what an amazing age that we live in, we kind of take for granted that we have information about anything we want. And it's readily available, right? You can ask Google any question that you want. And you know the answer. But it wasn't like that even 20 years ago, before the internet, or 30 years ago with the Cold War, or 300 years ago, right, in Middle Ages, right? Information was tightly kept that you couldn't get to it. And the availability of information allows us as humans to progress very, very fast. And you saw amazing startups that do technology that will help us and progress. And there's like in medicine and transportation and computation and artificial intelligence and everything. But there's a large group of people that doesn't enjoy this advance. And these are people who cannot read, right? And there's hundreds of millions of these. And they are visually impaired. There's also dyslexics, and there's various other conditions. And these are people that are prevented from using information. And that is a big limit on every one of us, right? If you couldn't read, would you even be sitting here today, right? You probably wouldn't. Where would you be? And to hammer on this, let me show you an amazing story of Sarah Scott. Sarah was 18 years old. She was in the last year of high school, and she was sitting in class, and she was reading something to the class. And all of a sudden, she couldn't read. And about an hour later, she couldn't speak. And about a few hours later, she couldn't move. And it turns out that Sarah had a stroke. And it's very rare at the age of 18, but it happens. And I met Sarah 6 years later. And in those 6 years, Sarah learned to walk and to speak. And I met her, and she's a young, intelligent, energetic, clever young woman, but she cannot read because the stroke destroyed her visual cortex. So her eyes are perfect, and the path between the eyes and the brains is perfect, but the part of the brain that deciphers the visual information is broken, and she cannot read. So she can walk, and she can speak, and she's clever, and and she's impressive, and she cannot read. So what can she do? What's her prospect in life, right? What can you do if you cannot read? So she heard about Orcam, and she emailed us, and she wanted to meet. And I told her, well, when you come to meet us, bring something that you want to read. And we met in London, and she pulled out the letter, and I told her, well, hold it in front of you and point to it, and the device will read it to you. And as she was pointing, I pulled out my phone just to look at the reaction and check it out, right? So this is Sarah on the left. That's her mother. Some random guy who was looking.
I am writing to you to confirm the support that can be provided. Details are over email. You took just that you worked for Richard Hale, Senior Trainee Lab Technician, and that Stephen Lee is the person at your workplace that can be contacted in relation to your application. Next steps, please discuss this with your employer. Complete the declaration overseas and return it to the Access to Work team as soon as possible. Using the address above, please retain a copy for your record.
She was waiting 6 years to read, right?
It's really good.
Until Access to Work has received your signed declaration.
Right.
Failure to return the signed declaration.
And the letter is no longer interesting, but she can't stop reading because she was waiting for so long to read, right? Just the ability to read.
Please contact the Access to Work maintenance team on 02084263059I01603,248,000.
No longer interesting. Can't stop.
I didn't pick you for a male voice, but apparently.
No, it's really good. That's perfect. Wow.
It's perfect, right? And when was the last time you got a high-end technological gadget and you put it on and it works and you say, oh, that's perfect, right? Because it fits you so well and it just does whatever you want, right? It's amazing. So it's amazing technology. It's so amazing that it interacts with you without you needing to futz around with it. And I strongly believe that this is the future, where we are going to be having devices that will help us to deal with whatever difficulties we have. And I'll just give you a few words about what the Orcam is. It's a small camera that fits onto any pair of glasses. And it's connected, this model connected with a wire to a battery that fits in your pocket. And it lasts all day. And the amazing thing about this technology is that everything happens inside this box. Nothing is transmitted anywhere. And it's critical, because if you are a lawyer and you make a living out of reading confidential information, the last thing you need is some hacker messing around with your confidential documents. And by not sending anything to the cloud and doing everything on you, it allows us to have immediate reaction and interaction, because as soon as you point, you get the answer. We don't have to send it and get it back. We don't have to emit radiation or waste energy. And this thing lasts all day, and it helps you through the day, right? So if you, yeah, and it's a reliable tool, and it's made of strong construction. And this is a life changer, because with a device like this, Sarah now has a job. And she works for a pharmaceutical company where she can perform experiments, or she can read the experiments and go and perform them. It's just the reading part. And she can move out of her parents and live by herself because she can pay the bills. And she's independent. And just like Sarah, there are hundreds of millions of people that need technology like this that is not really available. And it's quite remarkable that we live in the 21st century. And when you think of a blind person, you think of a white cane and a dog, right? Is this the best we can do as humanity? So no longer. You can do much better with devices like this. So I don't have much time to give you a demo, but I'll have the device with me in the lobby, and you can play with it. I'm just going to show 2 more slides. This is our next device that we're going to start selling soon, which everything fits on the glasses. It's this device. It's like this. I don't know if you can hear it, but it works.
Battery is 80% charged.
You hear? This. And this can read, right? It takes a child 6 years to read. We can read with this. We also have another product that is coming out, and it's geared for people with face blindness. It's a tiny camera that tells you who you meet. And before Evan kicks me out, I'll stop here.
Thank you very much. Fantastic.